Welcome to part 4 of Patriotic Thoughts from the Route 119 Warpath. And there we go, Christopher Gist, the Ohio Company surveyor who went to Fort LaBeouf with Washington to warn the French when him and Washington set out on a mission to warn the French not to build forts here. And this is his plantation up here that we're going to see. He settled here in 1753 and 1754. George Washington halted here and camped out for his campaign here and retreated to Fort Necessity. Pursuing French destroyed the plantation after that. Well, basically, yeah, like I was telling you, the French and Indian War started up here, right? And that's what I wanted to show you. So basically, that was his buddy. The Warrior Trail that the Iroquois Indians, this was their territory. They're basically like the Roman Empire of the Eastern Woodlands. They were, it was their power that kept the French and the English. It was the balance of power. Their balance kept it kept the balance of power. You know, without the Iroquois, the English would have never been able to. The English were friends with the Iroquois, and without their friendship, the French would have had this place. We'd be all speaking French right now. So yeah, like I was telling you guys about what that sign just said. Up here's where they had the Battle of Jumonville. That's where the French commander Jumonville got shot, and so then that was the night before the battle, and then like he said, Washington retreated up over the mountain to and built Fort Necessity, and his friends, his Indian friends said, "What are you doing, you young whippersnapper? You don't know what you're doing." They tried to warn him about building that Fort Necessity the way he did, but you know, Washington was young, and it was his command, and they had to do what they had to do, and he basically built the wrong place. If any of you don't know the story of George Washington, like I was telling you earlier about George Washington rolling in his grave trying to dig his way out to kick Obama's ass all around Washington D.C. for being a traitor. I mean, if you know the story about how he trusted Benedict Arnold, and he was hurt really bad by Benedict Arnold, what he did to him, because Benedict Arnold was a great warrior. He was a great, Washington had a lot of respect for that guy, but he was also a greedy warrior. Well, he's kind of like Obama. Like, just say the American people who voted for him, I didn't, they trusted Obama, and he's betraying them, and he out of greed. You know, it's all about greed. And basically, you can't see it from here, but I'll show it to you in another video. That's the Georgian Manor on the hill over here to the left. Our left was built in 1802 by Isaac Mason, veteran of the Revolution. Mason was a pioneer and iron master. In 1817 at Plumsock, we lost some words, probably Hill, built one of the first rolling mills. But anyways, the Gist plantation was the first plantation this side of the mountain. So it's really cool. Like I said, this is history right here. But the Iroquois had a down where Connellsville is, their great trail crossed at a place called Stewart's Crossings. It's called Stewart's Crossing. That's where when Washington and Braddock came across to get out, they came through the same way to go fight the British down at Fort Duquesne, which later became Fort Pitt. They came through here. They marched right through here. And they crossed at Stewart's Crossing down there in Connellsville. They actually camped out on the west side of the river. And when I was in it was called junior high school. They call it middle school now. But when I was in junior high school, I skipped school a couple times at a place there's called the Falls. And when I was researching history, a British soldier who was with the Braddock campaign wrote to his wife how beautiful the falls were, and I knew exactly where he was talking about, because it says right by where they camped at Stewart's Crossing, there's a beautiful falls, and actually the road's called Falls Avenue. So there's a little history lesson for you. But our history is so cool, and like I said, I'm not gonna let these idiots, these traitors in Washington D.C. and all that's going on. And you know what I've talked about in all these videos, and you know, I'm a total patriot, and I'm not gonna sit still until freedom is restored. And if it takes me, like I said, if it takes my life, I only regret I only have one life to give for this country. So I'll see you in part 6. Where am I? I don't know. See you in the next part of this video. See you later. Bye.